Getting an e-bike changes the bicycling game for sure, but the sheer number of options is honestly paralyzing. You don't want to drop cash on a battery that dies halfway home. So I've narrowed it down to the top 5 best electric bikes you can grab today. We'll look at which models actually handle the daily grind and find the perfect balance of speed and reliability. You'll find all the links in the description below. Let's head right in. Let's kick things off with number 5. If you want to get into e-biking without spending a fortune, take a look at the Jasion EB5. It is widely considered the go-to option for anyone on a strict budget who still needs a reliable commuter. Under the hood, you get a 350-watt rear hub motor. But here's the interesting part. It actually peaks at 500 watts, giving you enough push to reach top speeds of 20 miles per hour. It draws power from a 36-volt, 10-amp-hour battery that is fully removable. Depending on how much you rely on the throttle versus the pedal assist, you are looking at a range between 25 and 40 miles. Now, weight matters here. At just 49.6 pounds, this bike is significantly lighter than many competitors. That makes it much easier if you have to carry it upstairs or onto public transport. It supports a maximum load of 264 pounds on a high-carbon steel frame. But let's be honest here. Since this is a budget pick, you should expect some quirks. Assembly can be a bit tricky if you aren't handy with tools. Also, while it has 26-inch tires and mechanical disc brakes, many owners suggest upgrading the brake pads and tires down the line. The rear tire tends to wear down faster than you might expect. You do get a front suspension fork and a Shimano 7-speed shifter. However, there is no rear suspension. That means long-distance riders often swap out the stock seat for something softer. It comes with a light and horn, though you might want to add fenders yourself. In simple words, it requires some DIY love, but for the value, it is hard to beat. And then, we have the Gotrax R1. You'll want to pay close attention to this one if you live in a tight apartment or need to fit a bike into a car trunk. That is because its main selling point is the intelligent foldable frame. It shrinks down to roughly 37 by 27 inches, making storage incredibly simple. But don't assume small means weak. Under the hood, it packs a 350-watt motor that can peak at 500 watts when you really need it. That gives you a top speed of 20 miles per hour. You can control that power through 5 distinct pedal assist levels. You also get 3 specific riding modes to choose from: standard pedal, pedal assist, and pure electric. Powering everything is a 48-volt, 7.8-amp-hour lithium battery. You can charge it directly on the frame or pop it off to charge inside, which usually takes about 5.5 hours. If you rely on pedal assist, you can get up to 40 miles of range. However, keep in mind that if you use pure electric mode only, that drops to around 15.5 miles. It rolls on 20-inch by 2.6-inch resistant tires. These are slightly wider than standard, giving you better balance. It also features a large LCD smart display to track your speed and battery life. Safety is a huge priority here too. It comes equipped with dual disc brakes and carries the critical UL 2849 safety certification. Plus, at just 45 pounds, it is manageable to carry. It handles riders up to 264 pounds, fitting heights from 5'2" to 6'2". But here is the thing you must consider. The bike uses a rigid suspension. That means there are no shocks to absorb big bumps. While the tires help, you will feel the road if it gets rough. It is definitely designed for paved city streets, but a good one at that if you're after one exactly for that purpose. Next, we have the Cybervelo 1000 Peak. If you felt the previous options were a bit too mild, this is where things get serious. I say that because this bike focuses heavily on raw power and endurance, making it a solid choice for both daily commuting and rougher terrain. Under the hood, it is equipped with a high-speed brushless motor rated at a massive 1,000 watts. But here is the interesting part. It actually peaks at 1,500 watts. That kind of torque helps you tackle steep hills without breaking a sweat and effortlessly pushes you to top speeds over 25 miles per hour. It pairs this with a 7-speed transmission, giving you plenty of flexibility over how you handle the road. Now, let's talk about the range, because this is a major selling point. The removable battery is optimized for the long haul. Depending on which assist mode you use, you are looking at a staggering range of up to 80 or even 85 miles on a single charge. That is significantly higher than most standard e-bikes in this category. Comfort wasn't an afterthought either. It features a triple-threat suspension system. You get dual front fork spring shocks, rear suspension, and even shock absorption built right into the saddle. It rolls on 26-inch puncture-resistant tires, which helps stabilize the ride. You also get a water-resistant LCD display that tracks real-time speed and battery levels. For safety, it uses front and rear mechanical disc brakes equipped with EBikes, or electronic anti-lock braking system. The frame is high-carbon steel and supports a massive load of 350 pounds. But here is the thing. Weighing in at nearly 60 pounds, it is a heavy machine. Also, due to hazardous materials regulations, it is often listed as non-returnable. So, you need to be certain this is the one you want before you commit. Apart from that, it's a solid choice for daily commuters who love to go heavy during their rides. At number 2, we have the LECTRIC XP Lite 2.0. If you want a machine that balances premium features with pure portability, this is the one to watch. I mean, usually folding bikes feel a bit flimsy, but this one changes the narrative completely. Let's talk about what drives it. It features a rear hub motor equipped with Stealth M24 technology. It is designed to be quieter and more durable, yet it still delivers a peak power of 819 watts. That is plenty of torque to get you up to a top speed of 20 miles per hour. But here is the thing that really stands out. It is heavily certified for safety. The 48-volt battery is UL 2271 certified, and the entire system meets the strict UL 2849 standard. That is a big deal for peace of mind. Depending on your choice, the range varies significantly. The standard setup gets you up to 45 miles, but if you opt for the long-range version, that pushes all the way to 80 miles. Now, control is just as important as power. Unlike many budget options, this bike uses hydraulic disc brakes with 180mm rotors. That means you get superior stopping power compared to mechanical brakes. You also get a color LCD display that even includes a USB-A port to charge your phone while you ride. It is all built into a foldable aluminum frame that weighs just 49 pounds. When you fold it down, it measures just 36 by 16 by 27 inches, making it perfect for offices or trunks. It fits a wide range of riders from 4'8" up to 6'2". However, you have to consider the trade-offs. It uses a single-speed drivetrain. That makes it incredibly low maintenance, but it lacks the versatility of a geared bike on hills. Also, since there is no suspension, you will feel the bumps on rougher roads. That said, for a lightweight city commuter that doesn't skimp on safety, this is a fantastic choice. And finally, at number 1, we have the absolute beast of the bunch, the Aipas M1 Pro. If you are looking for a bike that dominates just about any terrain you throw at it, this is the one you get. I say that because it takes everything we have discussed so far and turns the performance dial up to 11. Let's start with the raw power, because that is the main headline here. It is driven by a massive brushless motor that peaks at a staggering 1800 watts. That generates 110 newton meters of torque. To put that in perspective, it allows you to conquer steep 23-degree inclines without struggling. Plus, it pushes the bike to a blistering top speed of 36 miles per hour, which is significantly faster than your average commuter. Powering this machine is a 48-volt, 17.5 amp-hour removable lithium battery with an 832 watt-hour capacity. The range depends heavily on how you ride. You can expect anywhere from 25 miles if you are using the throttle aggressively, all the way up to 85 miles if you rely on pedal assist. But here is the thing. Power is useless without stability. That is why it sits on massive 26-inch by 4.0-inch fat tires. When you combine those with the dual suspension system, featuring both a front fork and a rear shock absorber, it handles sand, snow, and gravel just as easily as city asphalt. It really floats over obstacles. The frame is an aluminum alloy step-through design, making it incredibly easy to mount, fitting riders from 5'5" all the way up to 7'2". You get 5 different pedal assist levels, a dedicated cruise mode, and even a walk mode to help you push it uphill. You also get a clear LCD smart display and a USB port to keep your phone charged. However, you need to keep a few realities in mind. With this much bulk and capability, it is a heavy machine compared to standard bikes. Also, while it uses 180mm disc brakes, they are mechanical, not hydraulic. Given the high top speed, hydraulic brakes would have been a nice upgrade. But even with that, for pure power and off-road freedom, this stands alone at the top. Thanks for sticking around. For more content like this, hit that subscribe button on our channel. Click the bell icon too, so you'll get notified every time we drop a new video at Flexiviews.